The woman had been buying fruit from the same store for a whole year, but this day, she suddenly noticed something off. Someone else bought the same cherries as her, yet the shopkeeper charged her $48 a pound, while the other customer paid only $28. She immediately confronted the shopkeeper, asking what was going on. The shopkeeper smiled and said, the cherries she picked were bigger and sweeter, so of course they cost more. In that moment, the woman felt deeply betrayed. She clearly remembered that day 1 year ago. Back then they were just street vendors selling fruit. The shopkeeper suddenly collapsed from a heart attack. His wife panicked and called for help. The woman happened to be passing by. She was in the middle of selecting suppliers for her company. Without hesitation, she knelt down and started CPR, even gave mouth-to-mouth in public despite the stares. From that day on, she secretly arranged for her company to buy fruit from their stall daily. Over the year they grew from a roadside stand into a proper fruit shop, but she never once revealed her identity. She just didn't expect they would treat her like just another customer. Still considering their connection over the past year, she pulled out $50 to pay, but after walking just a few steps, the shopkeeper's wife suddenly shouted behind her, claiming she had paid with counterfeit money, and loudly accused her of scamming them for free fruit. The woman was furious, but turned to leave without a word, only to be blocked by the shopkeeper's wife, who insisted she pay for the so-called loss. Seeing everyone pointing and whispering, the woman finally saw their true colors. She couldn't believe the people she had helped for a whole year could be this selfish. She calmly said the shopkeeper's wife must have made a mistake. She clearly gave her a real $50 bill, but the woman refused to listen, and began calling others over to join in. The woman then remembered the shopkeeper himself had been standing nearby when she paid, so she asked him to speak up, but he stammered and said it was a $100 bill. That's when she realized she had been supporting two completely heartless people. She stopped arguing, pulled out $200 and tossed it on the counter, intending to treat it as money fed to dogs and walk away. But the shopkeeper's wife got greedy. She wouldn't let her leave, and kept shouting for more compensation. The woman's face turned cold as she warned she would call the police, but the shopkeeper's wife sneered, saying go ahead and see who ends up in trouble first. Just then, the woman got a call from her company. They had discovered that the fruit sent by this shop contained spoiled and mixed-in produce, and the Bureau of Industry and Commerce had already received a report. An investigation and shop closure were on the way. The woman turned to leave, but the shopkeeper's wife blocked her again, saying she couldn't go without paying, so the woman gave her a few more hundred, yet the woman still wasn't satisfied. Onlookers began saying they should compensate the woman for ruining her business. Then the shopkeeper's wife told her husband to just grab the woman's wallet. In the scuffle they pushed her to the ground, while they happily counted the money in their hands. But the next second, the woman's phone rang, and what she heard on the call left her completely stunned.